Well, let's go to the West because we got an old rivalry being renewed this coming week between those two legends. First time they met in the playoffs, the 2012 Finals. LeBron leading the Heat to a win over KD's Thunder in 5 games after dropping the opener of the series. Every meeting between these two has come in the NBA Finals. 5 years later, 2017, LeBron and the Cavs, KD in his first season with the Warriors, KD getting revenge. 4-1, the Warriors win it, KD's first championship, and then they would meet again in the finals the next year, and again it was the Warriors, this time in a 4-game sweep. KD was the finals MVP again. LeBron averaged 34 points, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds. A month later, LeBron was a Laker. And so now they will meet all these years later in the NBA's first round. But I think we can all say this might be the last time that we see it. So the world is not going to give, we just showed you the prohibitive favorites that Boston are. The world is going to give the Lakers no chance to win this series. And by the world, I mean all of us, including me. But Sam, let's do it. If they're going to shock the world, if the Lakers are going to stun everybody and find a way to win this series, how is it going to happen?
Well, LeBron James has to, have a time machine, basically. It's got to be the LeBron that we saw on some of those teams in Cleveland, that there wasn't a lot of talent around him. He's putting up 35, 12, and 10, those type of games. Now, the NBA, they tried to help out. This schedule's got a few pockets of 2 or 3 days of rest in between games, but this has got to be – and then DeAndre Ayton's got to show up. He's got to be the player that he thinks he is. He's got to be dominating. He's got to win the matchup with Alperen Şengün, and I got to tell you, that sounds like a pretty good recipe for the Lakers to be let down.
And why are you laughing?
He's going off his tattoo, man. He's killing me. He's killing me every time.
But LeBron, but let's not even think about who's going to have to be his running mate. I mean, who's going to have to do it? LeBron. I'm not even worried about LeBron. I'm going to say LeBron's going to show up and do
especially
whatever.
Game 1.
He's going to do as much as any 41-year-old in the history of the league has ever done in anything. But who's going to help him?
I think all of them are going to help in different ways. But I think the thing that they need to focus on, and it's what we focused on as the Cavaliers when we were banged up and we still were going far, and people like Bron taking just anybody to the finals. It's like the cool thing about that is when you're on a team with somebody like that can transform and do as many things as a LeBron can, your job is not to say, hey, our guys aren't in right now. I need to now transform and create opportunities for everybody. It's like, no, I need to stay within my role, and I need to say, hey, now Bron's going to have more possessions. He doesn't necessarily have to turn the hands of time back and say, hey, man, I got to be more athletic and do all the other things. He doesn't have to do that. He can still just take it calmly off a ball screen, and you go under because you don't respect it.
We saw him do it recently.
Exactly.
Triple-double. Like, we know he can do it, especially with the week's rest. What they need is J.J. Redick.
There we go.
To me, that's the most important second person with the Lakers is J.J. Redick, because he's done a great job this year coaching. He's not getting enough credit. But also, he has to devise a 3-and-D plan for at least Game 1, knowing LeBron's going to have probably the most in his battery for Game 1. And have his guys. You've got Hachimura. You've got Vanderbilt. You've got Marcus Smart. You've got guys that can defend and hit threes. Yeah. And you have the centerpiece in LeBron. That's the way. Keep it close. We know Houston has struggled sometimes in crunch time, and see if you can steal at home a Game 1 to extend the series.
If y'all could get it to the last couple of minutes.
Big J.J. Redick Game 1.
Get it to the last couple of minutes, it could be a game. But if you can't get it there with Houston, it is going to be over.
And is there any chance whatsoever if they can extend the series, they get one of their guys back? Yeah. That, I guess, is really the formula here. All right.
Call last night. That's NBA analyst Iman Shumpert. Curry hasn't played or didn't play more than 30 minutes in a game since January 17th. Last night, 36 minutes on the floor, and he goes off for 35 points. So what did you see from Curry and the Warriors last night that impressed you most?
Well, the biggest thing, we knew Steph Curry was coming back to try and, get the train on the tracks and then advance them as far as he could. And whenever you have Steph Curry on your team, things aren't just able to be said to be over. So Curry going off didn't surprise me much. I thought that if he got in a late game situation where he could control the pace, he would do his thing. The standout to me of it all was Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis has been talked about. He has been criticized for not being healthy. He has been this, he has been that. He showed up ready to play last night. He shot the ball well. He played efficiently within the system. he was able to be big and actually show that he was 7'3", blocking shots, altering shots around the rim. He didn't get as many rebounds as we would all like to see, but I got to see the emotion. I got to see the passion. He was around. He was big for them last night, as well as I got to see Al Horford, who got to show again why he's in the NBA, knocking down shots, being the right place, the right time, being a floor leader, and just an all-around complimentary player to that basketball team. I thought they did an incredible job. Not going to knock away from Draymond Green. He also had some humongous stops down the stretch against Kawhi Leonard. I think they just put together a better ball game at the end.
Yeah, we were saying the UNC squad took over for the Warriors, helping them advance in the play-in. Let's head to the Eastern Conference, where the Magic host the Hornets tomorrow for a chance to face the #1 seed in the East, the Detroit Pistons. On the Orlando side, this could be a disastrous season. They had high expectations coming into this year, and now they might not make the playoff. So what has gone wrong for this team?
I think they have a chemistry issue. I'm gonna try and leave it there. They have a chemistry issue and an accountability issue that I just don't like. There's times that they turn the ball over or something else goes wrong on one end, and they fail to get to the other side as a team, as a unit. Sometimes it's two guys, sometimes it's one guy, sometimes it's nobody at all. But anytime that there's a fault, anytime there's a lapse, anytime that there's a cold spell of 3 minutes where they can't score, I just never see them huddled up and engaged. They are never seeming like they're together. They are five fingers, and they need to be a fist to hit anybody in this league. As far as their performance that they did last night, y'all got to give me more, man. I work for Disney, man. Orlando's supposed to be great. We're supposed to want to go to Disney. We're supposed to be seats filled, and everything's supposed to be magical. Right now, the Orlando Magic, is nothing magical going on. I need them to really turn things around, get on the straight and narrow. When we start talking about coaches on the hot seat, that's one of the coaches I think is on the hot seat of having all that talent and just not having the right steps forward. Knowing that you have a team that's as talented as they are.
Yeah, Jamal Mosley and the Magic had a win total of 51.5 entering the season, only won 45 games, and now might miss the playoffs. Iman Shumpert breaking it down on SportsCenter. Thank you, Iman.
Which is convenient because they're going to get him. Your initial thought on what that series might look like?
Well, Boston comes into the postseason in about as good of a position as they ever could have dreamed. They've played terrific basketball down the stretch. Their role players gained a lot of confidence even after Jason Tatum came back healthy. When Tatum and Brown have been out there together, they've been very hard to beat. I don't think there's anybody. I don't think they have 4 losses together since they've been out there, much less 4 in 7 games. And Philadelphia is probably not going to have Joel Embiid for this series. He's coming off abdominal surgery. We need a ramp-up period. I can't see 15 days into the future, but I don't think you're going to get full-power Joel Embiid, which I think you would need. I think Philly is dangerous because they've got some real talent, and VJ Edgecombe showed tonight that he is not afraid of the moment. But Boston is the team to beat in the Eastern Conference, and I think they're more focused on themselves than their first-round opponent, honestly.
All right, as for the team that loses on Wednesday evening, it's the Magic. They'll take on the Hornets, who will have LaMelo Ball. Shams Charania, you're reporting that he will be fined but not suspended for that trip of Bam Adebayo. What's your reaction to that, Brian?
So this is a pretty rare situation, Scott. First off, a retroactive flagrant 2 foul. I mean, it's happened before in the playoffs. In fact, like 15 years ago, LeBron James got issued a retroactive flagrant 2 foul. But it is an unusual thing, and it is an unusual thing to come without a suspension. The league did interview LaMelo today as a part of their investigation. I don't know what he said in the interview. I hope it was a better answer than he had on the podium last night. What was working against him here was that he's got several other instances, both this season and in the past, where he's done this exact same thing, where he appears to have been frustrated he didn't get a foul called, and he tripped the player that he thought fouled him. It happened against Bam Adebayo a couple of years ago. So the league was aware of those replays and still, I think, decided not to do this. Now, it still is a significant penalty. A flagrant 2 is a significant penalty, but it's completely unsatisfying when you know that the correct call would have been to have him ejected, and the player who he fouled is out for the game, and he is not facing any discipline beyond this. I would say this. he should consider himself on double secret probation going forward. Anything else that is a borderline, I don't think the league is going to look kindly on it. That is no solace right now, however, to the Miami Heat.
Yeah, that's really well said. If I'm the Heat, I'm still livid because, not only was he not kicked out, but you lost your most impactful player in Bam Adebayo on that play. And I get the NBA doesn't want to have Charlotte absent a superstar in a game for its playoff life. I get that. But Miami's looking in the mirror going, hey, like, what about us? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so my situation is I don't think a suspension was really just for that. But the fact that nothing happened in the game went to overtime, and I'm not saying 2 free throws in the second quarter would have made a difference, but when the game goes to overtime and your potential future Hall of Fame player is not in the game, and there was nothing called. It's one thing if they call a foul and then it gets upgraded later. We've also seen this where it's been upgraded later. There was no foul at all, no free throws. So I feel for Miami, but I'd have been arguing against the suspension if it had gone the other way, honestly.
Yeah, I don't want to talk out both sides of my mouth because I tend to feel the same. I just feel like Miami gets nothing out of this, and they got to watch, the Hornets play a game that perhaps they could have been in had Bam played. Nothing we can do about it at this point. Brian Windhorst, I appreciate the time as always.
That's show business, as they say.
In the big city.